a fair amount of time. Bad look for Bosa. It's a bad look for Bosa to do that to Wilkes.
And now he's talking after is what's bothering me.
I'm convinced that
no doubt
that Wilkes is going to get fired anyway. Yeah. But why'd he do that?
No.
Why'd Bosa do that?
To make sure, Steiny. And I'll say this. I heard Bonte Shasky going in. I had my fist up in the air. Steiny, you're telling me you're going to call out the coach, the defensive coordinator, but there were major important plays in that game in the fourth quarter and overtime. You were on the sideline. I'll just leave that there for you. And I know we disagree about Bosa. I can't hate on him to where I said there was impact, Steiny, and I know you're like, he was all right. But Bosa, there was some impact. But that 4th and 1, man, and then you got the audacity to say, oh, we're good. He's good on the back end, and we weren't prepared for everything. That's kind of greaseball-ish.
Maybe he was good on the back end is because the defensive line was supposed to be such a position of strength that it didn't need as much coaching as the defensive backfield.
Yeah.
I would think that the defensive line is the best part of that. Then the linebackers are right there with them. Maybe you got to coach the defensive backs because they were the weakest part of that defense. You know? Ryan's in Livermore. Hey, Ryan, what's going on, man?
The more.
Good morning, sir.
Hey,
thanks for taking me on. I appreciate the answer, and I listen to you guys almost every day with my son, and we're diehard Niner fans here. I want to talk about the loss of Dre Greenlaw.
Mm-hmm.
During the game, I didn't think much of it, just because there was still a lot going on. Game was still going on, but knowing now that he tore his Achilles and is gone for the next year, that's a huge loss. That's Bowman and Willis 2.0 right there. Warner and Greenlaw. Like, how are we going to replace that? Like, whether it's through the draft or through free agency, you just can't replace a guy like him. Like, he's a monster out there. So I don't know.
Here's the thing that I was thinking, and maybe this is unfair, maybe it's a cheap shot. So people are saying that when Greenlaw left that game, that's kind of when Kelsey.
No doubt.
Okay. Well, I thought we had. So Fred Warner can't do that?
Well, now he's got to do two things. When both of them were there, both of them were so spectacular at what they do, Steiny, the assignments. When one drops, now I got to go how
about just. All right, Fred, you got. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Tell me, Steiny, you don't know anything about football.
No.
How about just
nobody?
Hey, Fred, why don't you cover Kelsey? And
we saw that.
And maybe he couldn't, or maybe he got put in some bad positions. I don't know.
Again, I keep going to our guys in the morning, Steiny, but they made a great point. Remember the NFC Championship game against Seattle, the Niners, the Richard Sherman game when Cap got picked off, and Bowman, his career was forever changed, and he never. You know what I mean? So Greenlaw might be back week 3. And I owe you an apology yesterday, Steiny. I had some stuff going on. But anyway, took it out on you. You've done it to me before.
Not
but
me.
Anyway, I love you, buddy.
Come with that.
But no, seriously.
Well, I'm not accepting it.
But I still stand by the Greenlaw stance, Steiny. Like, we don't know if they're going to be great again. And that's why tomorrow's not promised. And before you grab this next call, you brought up yesterday, and I was driving home to Karl Malone and Jordan there. But just imagine had they closed the deal, Brock Purdy would be one of 3 quarterbacks that have beat Mahomes. They have a rival now, and now you just feel like, is Brock the guy? I'm not saying he's not, but everything's changed, Matt. And it's another Niner fan base of close no cigar.
Curtis in Napa. What's up, Curtis? How you doing, man?
Hey,
how you feeling?
How you guys doing?
What's up, C?
I am 33.
All right.
I don't count when they lost, when they won at last in like 94,
you got nothing.
95. I mean,
you got nothing.
I was just a little kid. Say again.
I said you got nothing. You got every right to be mad. Go ahead.
Sorry, guys, my phone was cutting out. But yeah, no, I am just seeing them lose it 3 times in 10 years. I'm just feeling numb. I'm heartbroken. I mean, it's just devastating. And the fashion that they've lost the last 3 Super Bowls, you'd almost rather get blown out.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I said this jokingly to Evan, Curtis. I said, 49ers lose that game 31-10. I think we're all coming in just saying, we weren't good enough. Let's move on.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm almost feeling, and you guys will know this stat, I'm literally almost feeling, what was the stat that Detroit Lions hadn't won a playoff game in, was it like 50 years or 40 years?
It was since Barry Sanders. They won a playoff game with Barry Sanders. I don't know about a road game, though.
But road game was 50-something years.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. So that is how I am starting to feel as a Niner fan. Like, we anticipate and expect all of the success, and then we make it to the big one, and it's just tragic fashion every time. But the points that I wanted to raise today, guys, you guys were talking a lot about Kyle Shanahan's call to take the ball first.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I genuinely like the call. The entire drive, I mean, we're moving the ball. We get that route, almost a wheel route in the flat to Christian McCaffrey. He goes up the sideline for 25, 30 yards. I mean, they are rolling, and I am literally feeling so confident. And then it bogged down due to pass protection breakdowns. And I don't think that that's on Kyle. You can't anticipate your right tackle just letting the Chiefs' best defender straight through untouched, right?
Right.
So I guess my point there is I like the aggressive call because, we're going down with the intention to score. Mahomes, he's going to touch the ball, and if they score, we do get the ball the last possession. So I do like that, honestly.
That's
but
fair.
The last thing, Steiny, you did ask. You were like, what is the most frustrating thing since the loss, right?
Yeah.
I saw this stat on social media last night. This could be bogus, but apparently the Chiefs' offensive line has not been called for holding once in 3 Super Bowl appearances.
We mentioned that.
If that's true, that is literally laughable. Like, I can't get over that.
Did the 49ers get called for a hold Sunday?
Yeah,
like
Trent
on the first
Williams.
possession.
Yeah,
Okay.
Trent Williams right out the gate.
Because I know they had some false starts.
Yeah.
How many holds did they have?
Trent was one of them, though. Yeah.
And that was obvious.
Be better at your job.
By the way, I can't thank a bunch of people.
Oh, boy.
A bunch of people sent me stuff on Instagram that was just
With
like
Trent?
Yeah, we have Trent Williams basically saying, you know what? One just the 2 false starts. Like, he got manhandled all game.
You got to stop blocking people on IG. I'm driving in this morning. My buddy goes, Guru, can you send this to Steiny? He kind of has me blocked where I can't send him stuff. Let me get the name. I go, my old partner.
Kevin's in San Francisco. What's up, Kevin? How are you?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Going well.
I've been listening to you for the last several days.
All right.
Especially with this blame thing. And come on, guys. That was Brock Purdy. That was his first Super Bowl, and as far as I know, for the first 3 quarters, he was handling his business. Nobody was perfect on either side. We even got Kansas City frustrated to the tight end running into his coach. We did everything. He may not. If we would have scored that touchdown in overtime, we'd have won it. But we kicked the field goal. The only problem was our defense could not stop Mahomes. And what did Mahomes do? The same thing Brock Purdy did to Detroit. He ran the ball.
Hey, listen, before you hang up,
I got something for you, too.
I'm surprised you didn't talk about, I hear you, but I disagree. The offensive line didn't show up. That 3rd and 5 from the 9, you get that first. You know it's over. You got them burning timeouts. They blew that collectively, but you didn't mention them, the O-line.
Well, that's the thing about it. Everybody made mistakes throughout the whole game, but we had Kansas City frustrated.
You did.
We could have won that game if the defense could have made a stop on Mahomes.
Take a listen. Hey, Kevin, take a listen to this text that just came in right before you called, because I think this is kind of where you're coming from, and I am too in a way. From the 408, Patrick Mahomes' second year in the league, he loses an AFC championship game to Tom Brady. Brock Purdy, second year in the league, has just lost a Super Bowl to Patrick Mahomes. There's levels to the game. I think you have to struggle sometimes in the playoffs before you can break through. Could it be as simple as that?
Brock learned a lot. Brock has learned a lot in this game. Brock has learned a lot.
Yeah. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate you calling. Appreciate you listening.
Yeah, we both gave thumbs up to Purdy's performance. No turnover. I didn't say he was MVP, but
he was like, of all the how about this?
Go ahead,
Of all the players on the Niners, what players resembled who they were in the regular season and what players kind of didn't look like that.
Can I go first?
Purdy looked like he looked in the regular season to me.
Check.
Okay.
All right. But can I, and people are going to come down my road.
That may be it.
What about Bosa? I thought Bosa had a good showing.
Nah,
Fred
not
Warner.
good enough.
And
that's just me.
There was one more thing I was going to give to you. Oh, it was Chris Cashman on IG that sent me the video of Trent Williams. He wanted me to send to you.
Getting manhandled? Yeah. Which highlight?
I'll send it to you.
There's about 7 of them.
But, darn it.
I think let me ask 49er fans another thing here about, and this one's one where, I think you can take everything positively or negatively. So, you lost to the Chiefs 5 years ago in 19. You lost on Sunday. I think is part of the frustration this. There's really nothing to do. Like, you just lost the Super Bowl. There's a lot of frustration. But we all know, if we've been watching the Niners for the last couple years, they're pretty much going to come back next year and try it again. There probably won't be a monster reaction to this loss. It won't be like, you know what? Well, now we know Purdy can't get it done. Let's get another quarterback in here. It's not going to. You know what? Kyle Shanahan can't get it done. Let's get another coach. They took care of Steve Wilks. All right, he's no longer the. But by and large, there aren't going to be any major ramifications to this loss, either coaching or personnel-wise.
I agree 100%, but what's scary about that, Steiny, is Green Bay's going to do something. Kansas City's going to enhance their weaponry outside, you would think. All the other teams are getting Detroit you got to deal with, so that's not the slogan for every other team that was almost knocked you off or that will be trying to knock you off next year.
But my point is, okay,
you're telling the truth.
Tell me some changes they can make where they'll be better.
Oh, that's why I said what you said is valid.
And that's why I think the 49ers can be better next year. If Brock Purdy improves, if the young guys get better, maybe Ayuk takes it to the next level next year.
Are they going to improve their O-line?
I think they will.
It's a must. But it ain't just about drafting, Steiny. It's about whoever you draft, coming in. I'll save this for later. I remember I was going to ask you. If you had to give Brock Purdy a check now, would you?
No.
And that's where I'm at.
Well,
that don't mean I'm not believing it. I need to see more, Matt.
See, we're going to ask Ted Wynn of The Athletic. He's coming on at noon. A lot about Purdy and what you do with him and maybe if you end up paying him at the end of next year, what that means for other players on the team, whether you can keep them or whether you can't keep them. Like I'll tell you what, he said this 2 or 3 years ago, and now it's become something I'm fixated on. It was when Bob Myers said, you don't have to make a decision until you have to.
That's Brandon Ayuk.
You don't have to make a decision until you have to.
That's Brandon Ayuk. They could take care of him this offseason if they wanted to, Steiny.
Right. So Purdy, nothing to do with Purdy. Come back. Huh? We ain't paying you now. There's nothing to do with Purdy. Come back and quarterback the team and try to win a Super Bowl, and then we'll talk about it. Or come back, quarterback the team. We'll come up short again, and then we'll figure out how much we think you're worth. But I think that's another thing that's a part of this is there's not a lot you can do without dismantling a team that is been to a championship game 4 out of the last 5 years. How much do you want to dismantle?
Well, you got to go get you a DC, Steiny, that fits. And that defensive coordinator won't have the luxury of having Dre Greenlaw week 1. You know what I mean? So you're already kind of starting out the gate hampered.
But I look at their defense and say, you know what? They've had a really good defense for 5 years. Okay, are we saying right now, and I'm being honest, are we saying right now that this version of the 49ers defense under Steve Wilks, wasn't nearly as good as it's been for the last 4 years under Saleh or Ryans? Because it feels like some people aren't even ready to say that now.
But something changed this year. They were great this year. And I keep thinking of Evan when we did the show together, not front runners in a bad way, but just like they were a different defense when they had the lead as opposed to what we saw in the playoffs.
So, real quick, not to cut you off, Steiny.
Sure.
DeMeco Ryans from the years 2021 to 2022, the opponent's points per game, 18.9. Steve Wilks this year, 17.5.
Damn.
Under Ryans, 305.3 yards for the opposition per game. Under Steve Wilkes, 303.
Yeah.
So if you want to just go by the numbers, Steve Wilkes' defense was better.
Yeah.
But Tony, I'll give you this.
To me, it was just like, yeah, they've had a good defense the last 5 years.
But let me tell you two both this, to Spadoni's point, and I don't know if he has it there, but I bet you Saleh and D'Amico Ryans, I know for a fact, just vivid in the Guru computer, they didn't have a first half Detroit debacle in the first half on their resume. You know what I mean? When they went in the playoffs, they were more like the defense they were in the regular season, and I really believe that Detroit performance, Donnie, you can tell me if you disagree or not, that was the shovel to start digging the grave of, man, we can win it all, but there's going to be some changes. I don't remember Saleh and D'Amico. They played Green Bay and Minnesota, and the defense was stout.
Here's where I got to come and say, they didn't get it done either. Well, Saleh and D'Amico Ryans, these great, so great. They didn't get it done. Uh-huh. They weren't defensive coordinators of a winning Super Bowl team. And I would disagree with you slightly. I think this thing's been building all year.
The Wilkes?
Yeah. Let's go to Anthony in Marin. What's up, Anthony? How you doing, man?
Hey, guys. I love what you guys do. It's so entertaining, and I've been listening, and oh, my God, this is cathartic. It's part of the healing process, so I appreciate you guys guiding us through this. But I had one comment and one question that I think is hopefully additive to this great dialogue. But the first one, the comment is, regardless of Kyle's decision on that overtime possession, right, wrong, indifferent, what it really revealed, and we've all seen in hindsight, it clearly pointed to a team that was not prepared for that moment.
Correct.
They had played out all their chess moves, and the discrepancy between the Chiefs and the elation. I mean, they could not believe themselves, like what just went down. Oh. And if you could only imagine the dialogue and the confusion and the chatter on the sidelines of the Niners when they were still confused, that confusion, like it or not, goes right into the huddle. This was evident that I'd have to believe the entire coaching staff did not even fully understand the rules.
I am with you there, and I'll take it a step further. It not only might have led to a little confusion on the 49ers, it gave the Chiefs confidence. The Chiefs had been preparing all year. Hey, if we lose this toss, they're going to give us the ball so that they know what they have to do to win. You lose the toss, and you get what you want anyway. That's why they were running off the field. They want the ball. Okay, they want the ball.
You got to play that on the other side again, man. Just hearing that.
It's pretty sure.
All right, but that's just incredible. It was like a turnover. You're right. It gave them a shot, like Pete's Coffee.